The Last of Us is filled to the brim with emotional moments, so I decided why not do a top 5 list of my favourite moments from the game. This list will contain spoilers for the series however, so this is your spoiler warning for this video. If you want to play it for yourself and don't want to be spoiled, you should stop watching now. By the time the player gets to Salt Lake City, the game would have thrown a lot of emotional and deeply saddening moments at the player, leading to the player maybe to lose hope in the game world. However, it is at this point while exploring the city that Joel and Ellie bump into a herd of wild giraffes. The giraffes are a real eye-opener for Ellie, who has always lived in such a chaotic time. Ellie begins to reach out and touch a giraffe which has wandered off from the herd. This gives her a chance to just enjoy being a child without having to worry about anything else. It's also a sign that some of the world that Joel once lived in has managed to survive through to even this time. It's just such a heartwarming moment that it had to make the list. It didn't take us long to start developing an emotional attachment to Tess, so try to imagine what Joel would have felt when he found out Tess was infected. Knowing she is infected, she tries to trick Joel into letting her make a noble sacrifice to hold off some of the city guards, but Joel knows Tess better than this. This leads Joel to know that Tess got infected and just doesn't want to become infected. Tess pleads with Joel, arguing that their emotional connection must be strong enough for him to continue the journey without her. This is because her part in the story is about to end. How Naughty Dog executes this scene is great as well. The way they just handle Tess's sacrifice. I mean, we don't get to see her die straight away. They allow us, the player, to accept and play as Joel to escape. And then later in the level we come to a balcony overbearing the beginning of the level, and we're just there in time just to see Tess make that noble sacrifice that she so much wanted. It's just a great moment, and it's saddening and it's emotional all at once. About halfway through your journey, Joel gets into a serious fight with some raiders in a hospital at a university. During the scuffle, he falls off a ledge and gets impaled through his abdomen. This leaves Joel seriously injured and in need of medical attention. This role is taken on by Ellie, who is now attached to Joel, wants to help heal him and make him better. She's able to find him some shelter, stitch up his wounds, and even make a deal with raiders to get some antibiotics, as Joel's wound becomes infected. There is just so much love and devotion from Ellie, a girl who at the beginning of the game really detested Joel. If you saw my latest video on Monday, you might have been wondering if this was going to make the list or not. And of course it did. Coming in at number 2 is the death of Joel's daughter Sarah. The execution of how they killed off Sarah not only shocked players but critics alike. After escaping from the infected who are running wild in town, Joel and his daughter cross paths with a perimeter guard who is under orders to shoot upon Joel and Ellie. However, Tommy comes to save the day, and probably Tommy and Joel are feeling very relieved that they did not get shot. However, after they turn their heads and see Sarah, it's gruesome. She's been shot, she's dying. Joel immediately runs over and tries to comfort her and tries to save her in any way he can, but he can't. It's too late. She's been shot, she's bleeding out, she's dying. It's just such a heart-wrenching moment, and it's like right at the beginning of the game as well. It's roughly 50 minutes into the game, and it just took players by surprise, and it's just one of my favourite moments from the game, even though it's saddening. I argue that this is the most emotional scene in the game. There is no denying that Joel's actions in the following scene are a direct result of everything that you've watched up to this point. From the moment Joel meets Ellie all the way to present time. As you go through the game, gradually you come to realise Joel is becoming a better man. But alas, all these changes are thrown away in this upcoming scene. It's a scene where he takes down doctors who are trying to develop a cure to save humanity using Ellie's brain. However, Joel is having none of that. He barges in and without hesitation shoots all the doctors and grabs Ellie and just legs it. This just shows Joel never changed from his original programming, I guess, from the intro of the game. He wants to save what is now his daughter figure. Thank you once again for watching another one of my videos. Please don't forget you can leave a comment underneath the video to let me know what you think. I'm still trying to get the series together, so feedback is necessary, even negative. Just be constructive about it. Also don't forget you can click subscribe if you did like what you saw, as it will allow you to know when my next video comes out, which will be Monday.